we go. Got my audio fixed. Let's go ahead and... How's it going, everybody? We're back with another episode of Pokemon Crystal. Come on. There we go. Yeah, there it is. This is basically going to be a grinding episode. I'm getting everybody to level 45. Gear. Just a chill stream. Oh. I don't remember seeing Pidgeotto here, but hey, I won't let a gift bird in the mouth, or beak. I hope everybody who's watching this is having a good day. Wait, did that just say strength was super effective? Oh, strength is a fighting move in this game. Okay. Huh. Alright. Sure, we'll try level ball. Just see how it goes. Nice. Hmm. Okay, so I did catch something in Yellow Forest. Wow. It'd be funny if it had the flying type. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and put you there. That way I don't have to release you. Because that's not fair to him. Alright, Magnus, fly. We'll go fight in Yellow Forest. They said there were a bunch of Pikachu in this forest, but I never saw one until now. And you know what? I'll go ahead and save. There we go. Meryl. I'm surprised I didn't have a Meryl up until now. Oh, it's a fairy type. That's not very effective. Not that it apparently matters. Oh no, I have been intimidated. That one. Oh, regular Pikachu. It'd be funny if I ran into a surfing Pikachu. Although I highly doubt that would ever happen. At least not in here. Hello.
Meow.
How's it going?
I don't know how you managed to do it, but I wasn't here home for the past few days, so
What do you mean?
I just got back, so
Ah, I see.
it's like the perfect timing to...
I mean, it helps that I saw that you were playing Hearthstone.
I mean, fair.
Oh my goodness. I remember Hearthstone.
Yeah, I remember it too. It's like it's in front of me or something.
Weird that.
Yeah.
So, other than playing a game inferior to Magic the Gathering, how are you?
Tired.
Understandable.
I got home at 1 in the morning.
Oh dear, that Meryl has rollout. I didn't realize that. That could be a problem.
Could be.
I mean, Magnus is a Gyarados, so, you know, water flying. If rollout hits, it'd probably be an issue. Magnus is so close to level 45.
Almost there.
Yep, I'm trying to get my entire team to level 45 before I go fight the next gym.
Fair.
Yeah. This will probably end up on my YouTube channel eventually on my Crystal playlist. But...
Are you just grinding right now, then? For
yeah.
how long do you think?
No, I have no idea. Didn't really have a... Like, I have a goal for how much I need to grind. And that's to get everybody to level 45 before I start taking on the next thing. But,
Strength is fighting?
in this game, yes.
Oh.
But that's because this is polished crystal.
Oh.
They've also updated it to include fairy typing.
Fair.
Also, you may notice that Magnus knows Fly, even though Gyarados generally doesn't learn flying moves, despite being a flying Pokemon. Wants to learn Dragon Dance. Ooh. Oh, but what do I get rid of? DD is so good. I guess I'll get rid of Crunch. Because a Dragon Dance Gyarados? Ooh, so good. Especially since he has Moxie. Because in addition to everything else, they also added abilities to the game. So just to show you my team, we've got Frederick, who you may notice is not a mono water type in this. He is water dark. Then we have Tinker the Persian, Lilith the Golbat, or Crobat, she evolved, Magnus the Gyarados, Evan, who you may notice is an evolution that didn't exist in this generation, and Balboa. Oh god, it's Pika Blue.
How did they do the evolution for Leafeon and such? Did they do the stones right?
No, so there's a location you can go to for Leafeon.
Oh, okay.
I happen to need that. I happen to have been there when Evan evolved, or when Evan leveled up, so Evan grew into a Leafeon.
Nice.
Yep. And then you may have noticed that they've added in a lot of moves that didn't exist then, like Bulldoze.
It's a really good one to have.
Yeah. Get that chill music going. Schnubble. Oh yeah, and they made trade evolutions level up.
Super useful.
Oh yeah. Also, I'm in an area that didn't exist in the original Crystal version, called Yellow Forest.
Neat.
Walking up, I actually have an episode on my playlist called Pikachu Don't Exist, because the entire way here, all the trainers I was fighting are like, man, there's so many Pikachu in this area coming up. And I'm like, oh man, that's cool. And then I went through the entire forest and did not see a single Pikachu. And then today I go in and the first Pokemon I find is a flying Pikachu. And funny enough, I've actually found more flying Pikachu than I have normal Pikachu.
I like the way that they show the ability.
Yes. Nah, this game has a lot of really good stuff in it. Schnubble! Snubbles are the most annoying thing to fight in this forest, if only because they have Intimidate, and most of my Pokemon are physical attackers. Which is another thing, they did the physical special split.
Oh, nice. That is super useful.
Mm-hmm. Which, if you notice, when I click on a move, you'll notice it's got a little red and yellow symbol next to the typing of the move. So it gives the stats of the move, first of all. But, that little blue one versus the red and yellow one, blue is special and red and yellow is physical.
Yeah.
But you'll also notice, so remember the color of that Snubble that I just fought?
Yeah.
Oh, here's a Pikachu, never mind.
I'm stuck looking at the previous.
Fair. I guess there's a bit of a delay in there.
Yeah.
Alright. So, looking at that Snubble... Oh, no, there's a Sentret. Okay. Well, just looking at the colors in general, it'd be nice if I could get two of the same one in a row, but it doesn't look like the game's gonna cooperate.
When does it?
Fair. Alright, I got two Sentrets in a row, although they look like they have the same color scheme or similar color scheme, so that was probably a poor choice in example. But
They have slight differentiations.
They do. It's based on their stats. They have what is essentially oh, this Snubble looks radically different from the other one.
Yeah.
Based on their stats, they have a different coloration, which is something that the people who edited this game took from Pokemon Stadium, believe it or not.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Because in original Pokemon Stadium, it was based on their name. So depending on the nickname of the Pokemon, the color would be different. But then in Pokemon Stadium 2 Gold and Silver, they changed it to where it was based on whatever their stats were. Balboa level 41. Go ahead and save. Oh god, it's Peekaboo again! So what do you generally do in Hearthstone?
Battlegrounds.
Ah. Burp, burp. Silly Snubble.
So I take it you're good for tonight?
Yes. Last week we had someone fixing the leaks in our basement, and I couldn't really leave them alone.
Fair.
But it looks as though the leaks have been fixed, because we've had some nasty rain here over the last week, so... we've been able to somewhat test it. A Pichu! See, out of the entire Pikachu line, Pichu is my favorite.
Fair.
Raichu is my second, and Pikachu is by far and away my least favorite of the Pikachu line. Ah, and there's Pikachu. It'd be funny if I found a Raichu next, but that's, as far as I'm
Probably
aware,
not gonna
impossible.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidate? Well, there's another Pichu. There's a card that came out in the newest set for Magic the Gathering that is a reprint of an older card. Well, I say older, slightly older than the new version of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a legendary unicorn called Emil. And it is absolutely ridiculous. Because you could just pay 3 mana to blink target creature other than himself. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Because, just as an example, there's a 2-mana creature called Prosperous Innkeeper. He's a 2-mana 1/1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain a life. And when he enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. And if you don't know, treasure tokens are artifacts that tap and sacrifice themselves to generate mana.
Mm-hmm.
So, with a Prosperous Innkeeper out and, say, Anointed Procession and Parallel Lives, those are 2 enchantments that say if a token would be created, create twice that many instead, right? With those 2 out, and then you use Emil to blink the Prosperous Innkeeper, when the Prosperous Innkeeper enters, he creates a treasure token. Well, that's a token, so Anointed Procession says, okay, we'll create 2 instead. And then Parallel Lives looks at that and says, oh, there are 2 entering? Well, each of those will create 2 instead. So that means the Prosperous Innkeeper created 4 tokens. Oh, hey, look at that. I just created 4 tokens. Well, now I can sack 3 of them to blink the Prosperous Innkeeper again.
Then you slowly build up.
Infinite mana, yes. It's ridiculous. But if you thought that was funny, there's another combo. There is a card in Magic called Stimulus Package, which is another 4 mana enchantment that says when it enters, create 2 treasure tokens. So that would create 8 if I had 1 Parallel Lives and 1 Anointed Procession out. Alright, fair enough. So I play that and I get 8. Keep in mind, I still have the Prosperous Innkeeper and Emil out. But its other effect is sacrifice a treasure token, create a 1/1 green and white human citizen creature token. So now, with those 8 treasures I just made, I can sacrifice one of them to create 4 humans. Because sacking 1 creates 1, Anointed Procession doubles it to 2, and then Parallel Lives doubles it to 4. Well, that's all fine and dandy. But then there's another legendary creature. She's a 3-mana 3/3 called Jenny Faye. And Jenny Faye says if you would create a token at all, you can instead create a 2/2 green cat with haste or a 3/1 white dog with vigilance. Or maybe it was a green dog. Either way, doesn't really matter. It's a 2/2 cat with haste or a 3/1 dog with vigilance. So now, if I were to sacrifice a treasure token, instead of making a 1/1 green and white citizen, I will instead make a 2/2 cat with haste. So now my infinite treasures turn into infinite 2/2 cats with haste. But if you thought that was silly, there's another creature. This one's called Devilish Valet. He's a 3-mana 1/3 with trample and haste. Now you may be thinking, well, a 1 1 power Trampler really isn't that good, and you'd be right. But he has another ability that says anytime a creature enters the battlefield under your control, double his power. So the first time I create a 2/2 cat with haste, I create 4 2/2 cats with haste. And so, because 4 creatures enter the battlefield under my control, his 1 doubles to 2, doubles to 4, doubles to 8, doubles to 16. And that's with the first one. And keep in mind, he's got Trample and Haste, which means that he can attack the turn he enters, and any damage he doesn't use to kill the creature in front of him will hit the player behind that creature. So, with Emil and Prosperous Innkeeper, I essentially have infinite 2/2 cats with haste and an infinite power 3 toughness creature to just raffle stomp my opponent. It's really funny.
Sounds absolutely perfect.
Yep, and all of this because of a human and a unicorn working together. Balboa hit level 42, woo! Go ahead and save my progress. Meep. Balboa's almost out of moves. I'm also working on a super secret deck. Super secret from my friends, not from everybody. Because it does some absolute shenanigans.
Sounds about right.
So, there's a creature in Magic called Gravecrawler. And Gravecrawler is a 1 black mana 2/1 that can't block, and if you control a zombie, you may cast it from your graveyard. Now, there's another creature in Magic called Champion of the Perished. Champion of the Perished is a 1 black mana 1/1 zombie that says whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And that's all he does. So, with Champion of the Perished out, I can basically cast my Gravecrawler and make him stronger. So even if my Gravecrawler dies, I can still cast him to make my Champion of the Parish stronger. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Now there's an artifact in the game called Phyrexian Altar. And Phyrexian Altar...
That one before.
Huh?
I think I've heard that before.
It's a 3 mana artifact that says you sacrifice a creature, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Well, I happen to have a Gravecrawler and a Champion of the Perished, so I'll sacrifice my Gravecrawler to the altar, creating 1 black. Gravecrawler's in my grave, and I control a zombie, so I'll spend that 1 black mana to recast Gravecrawler. Well, because Gravecrawler entered the battlefield, Champion of the Parish gets bigger. So I can actually just repeat that ad infinitum until Champion of the Parish is as big as I want it to be. Now, with that alone, there's really not too much you can do. He's a really big creature, but other than that, nothing super special, right?
Yeah.
Well, sacrificing a creature causes anything that looks at a creature dying to trigger. And casting him from my graveyard looks at anything that leaves the graveyard, enters the battlefield, and is cast. So not only does Champion of the Parish get bigger, but any cards that look at any of those 4 things I just listed also benefit from this. As an example, I think there's a card called Plague Belcher. I don't remember if that's its name, but it's a 3-mana 2/2. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. Well, by sacrificing the Gravecrawler dies. So now each opponent loses a life, and I just do that until all of my opponents die. There's another card called Altar of the Brood, which says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player mills equal to its power. Well, every time I recast Gravecrawler from grave, my target player will mill 2 because it's a 2-power creature. Then there's Desecrated Tomb, which is one of my favorites, and it says whenever a creature leaves your graveyard, create a 1/1 black flying bat creature token. Well, casting Gravecrawler from my grave causes him to leave the graveyard. So I can just create infinite bats that way. And the funny thing is I don't need specifically Champion of the Parish. Any zombie will do. But if you thought any of that was silly, it gets even more so when you look at the enchantment Rooftop Storm. Rooftop Storm is a 6-mana blue enchantment that says zombies you cast, you may pay 0 rather than their mana cost. So suddenly my Gravecrawler's free, so every time I sacrifice it I create 1 mana of any color, but I no longer need to spend that mana to recast him. Now, of course, any and all of these combos I've listed so far get disrupted by killing any of the zombies on the battlefield, because if I don't have a zombie, I can't cast Gravecrawler, because Gravecrawler requires a zombie on the field in order to do so. But it's just these amusing little combos that are interspersed here and there.
It just keeps ramping.
Basically, yeah.
Making a bunch of creatures, making a bunch of mana, milling a bunch of cards. And it all revolves around the Phyrexian Altar and Gravecrawler. But actually, it gets even more shenanigans than that, because there's a spell, an enchantment, called Necroduality. Whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token copy of that creature. So that means that I can cast Gravecrawler, and when it enters, it creates another Gravecrawler. Anyway, those are just a couple of fun combos. level 43. I also found out that my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck is getting a little more support in one of the new sets coming out soon.
Nice.
Yep. It's an archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh called Melfies. M-E-L-F-F-Y. They are adorable, pastel-colored forest critters.
Or at least most of them are.
We're
Okay.
getting Melfi Penny, which is a seal, a fuzzy white seal. We are getting Melfi Wally, which is a kangaroo. Melfi Cheerful Melfies, which is a synchro of a bunch of them. And then the last new card is Melfi Staring Contest, which is hilarious, and I love it. Most of the Melfi cards are, the monsters are referenced to forest critters and stuff, but all of their spell and trap cards are references to games.
Fair.
So there's Melfi Playhouse, which is a reference to playing house, obviously. Melfi Hide and Seek, which I know you're going to have a hard time figuring out which one that is.
No wonder.
Yeah. There was one more trap I don't remember, I think. And then the new one, which is Melfi Staring Contest. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because it gives me an excuse to make the deck almost exclusively Melfies, because right now I have a couple of other cards in there that aren't Melfies.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. What do you generally play on Hearthstone? What's your...
The battlegrounds.
No, the class. Unless
That's the point. That's the thing. I only do the battlegrounds. I played a little bit of like the story of it, but I didn't go too far into it.
It has a story?
Well, progression. I don't think it's really a story, but
I didn't
that
know it
kind of
had
thing.
that. So, it's been a very long time. So Battlegrounds, is Battlegrounds not, do you not use a class?
You pick a hero, and they have certain abilities based on the hero.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, I guess. If I remember correctly, when I played, there was Tavern Brawl. I used to do that a lot.
I think that's still around. I just only done the battlegrounds because it's just like uncontained thing. I don't need to upgrade stuff outside of the match I did.
Oh wait, is Battlegrounds that one where, like, you buy heroes and rounds and there's gold and a barkeep and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember Disguised Toast was playing that a bit before he stopped playing Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Then he moved over to Amogus.
August.
Yep, and then he stopped playing that too.
I mean, yeah.
There's one, I was gonna say knockoff game of Among Us, but frankly, I like it better, called Goose Goose Duck. It's basically Among Us, but with geese as the crewmates and ducks as the imposters. And then they basically took all of the mods that people were making for Among Us and said, hey, why don't we just implement those as different roles you could play in the game? And so they did.
Yeah.
And then I think it's got inbuilt voice chat, so you don't need to be on Discord in order to do it. At least as far as I'm aware.
Nice.
Route 36. How far away is Route 36? Pokegear. Okay. fly to Critique City and do that. Might as well heal, too. Bum bum bada bum. Alright. Tangela? Oh boy. Oh, you're level 17. I'm sorry. That's still worth a lot of experience. A lot more than the level 20s I've been fighting. Okay. He's almost level 44. Woo! I was thinking of doing a solo Pokemon run of one of these games at some point. Hey, you're level 44. Explosion? Absolutely not.
Yeah, just put that on it, and then the last one you're battling in the Elite Four, just boom.
I refuse. I refuse. See, I like this color scheme for Pikachu. I do. Oh god, it bopped me. I went from 146 to 145. It did so much damage. I like how this Pikachu is floating on balloons, but because it still doesn't have the flying type or the levitate ability, I can still bulldoze it. now. Let's see. No. I was hoping there would be a Pokemon Polished Emerald, but it doesn't appear as though there is. That's a shame.
Know that there's like a harder version of it
Oh
with like
yeah,
all
Emerald.
new Pokemon too.
The hardest version I've seen so far is Pokemon Crystal Kaizo, or Pokemon Emerald Kaizo, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's a Twitch streamer / YouTuber called Pokemon Challenges. He has about 5,000 hours of Nuzlocke experience, so you know, a lot. And he did a hardcore Nuzlocke version of Pokemon Emerald Kaizo, which the author advised him not to do, but he did it anyway. And it took him 151 attempts to do. And by the end of it, he is a master of the Emerald Code now.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Oh, this Sentret's color is nice. I like this Sentret. It's too bad I'm gonna have to bulldoze it. Oh, goodness. I'm waiting for what is essentially the last pieces to that Phyrexian Altar deck to come in the mail. I was debating whether I should go to the grocery store or not.
Groceries are always nice.
Yeah. after I get Balboa to level 45, all I've got left is Evan. But
Nice.
I think after I get Balboa to level 45, I'm gonna take a break.
Fair.
Not sure what I'll play. Maybe I'll play Rogue Tower. But I'm definitely gonna eat, because I'm getting hungry.
I should probably eat actual food.
As opposed to fake food.
As opposed to jelly beans that I got on my trip.
Jelly beans are nice. I like jelly beans.
Yeah, the jelly bellies, so
Jelly beans.
I pick my own flavors, so.
Nice. So, I streamed helping my buddy Tony in Crocotopia.
Dang, he's already in Krakatopia? Nice.
Yeah, I think it was last night. Yeah, he's in Crocosphinx right now, the second area.
Nice.
So I streamed it, but for some reason OBS decided to just shit the bed, and the recording was 1 second long, which I'm 90% certain I helped him for several hours. And the VOD of it is broken, both visual and audio. So you can't even go to look on my Twitch channel to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also only like a minute long on my Twitch channel, so even then it's still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened.
Well, hey, now I can go there and just do side quests.
Yeah? I actually made a deck because Tony and I made a couple of friends who were also in Crocotopia. I made a deck because the enemies in Crocotopia are so weak that I could basically just throw Ratatoskr at them and they'll die. So it's just a deck with 4 Ratatoskr, 2 Unicorns, and 2 Reshuffles. I even took out all of the spells added by, like, my equipment.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Meanwhile, I'm getting very close to being able to go farm Spellements, which is essentially all I'm going to do until I'm able to get all of the Spellements to upgrade all of my spells to their max. Once I get there, just because I really wanna max them out.
I mean, fair.
The interesting part is, though, your character's fire, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually far enough in the game to where I could help you farm fire Spellements.
Nice.
So if you wanted to improve your spells, you could.
Yeah,
but
probably at some point be a good idea.
Tony has created a Myth Wizard and a Death Wizard, both of which are spiritual ones, so we would have to go to the same one I need to go to farm life ones. Because, so, Life, Death, and Myth are spiritual. Fire, Ice, and Storm are elemental. An elemental boss will drop more elemental spellements, but will occasionally drop spiritual spellements, and vice versa for the spiritual boss. So you could join us while we're fighting the boss that drops spiritual ones and come away with some elemental ones. But
Better than what I get now.
yeah. But to put this into perspective, I farmed the boss enough to upgrade 4 of my life ones, a couple of myth, and 1 or 2 death. And I got legitimately 4 total fire spellements for 4 different fire spells.
Yeah.
So it is a very, very, very low drop chance for elemental spellements. Spellements. He's almost there. I need like 1 or 2 more. 1 or 2 more fights. It's so close. So close! One-hit wonder. Aw. I need like 1 more good fight. Hopefully I can get, like, not you. Oh, never mind. You are what I needed. Perfect. Save. Alright, let's see how you do against one of these random opponents. Ah, perfect. Snubble. Intimidate. There we go. Oh, you really don't have a lot, do you? Does this kill? Yes, it does. Okay, so you're good. Alright, so I'm gonna save here, and then I think I'm gonna call it here. So I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye-bye.